Hello everyone, welcome to an episode of Nerd Talk. I am your host, Brett Jones, where I talk this way because I really am that cool. Today we are going to be talking about how the Marvel Avengers Endgame left the door wide open to allow X-Men into the MCU. If that is why you are here, make sure you stick around. Oh, and of course, spoiler warning for Endgame. If you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? We probably can't be friends anymore. Go and watch it. You could just skip work. Then come back if you want to have fun like the rest of us here. Alright, so let's follow the advice of a good friend of mine, Nacho Libre, and let's get down to the nitty gritty. X-Men were part of the Avengers in the comics. Now that there are, vacancies? Too soon? Okay, I'm sad too, alright. Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America. Now when I'm thinking about watching Captain America Civil War, I think about what side I could pick now, Team Cap or Team Iron Man. Now all I can think about is, I love them both 3,000. Don't make me choose. Anyways, X-Men were featured as Avengers in the comics, so many of the real comic book nerds know that there is something missing from the Avengers movies in our day. Wolverine even served alongside Captain America in World War II in the comics. Before 2008, when the MCU released The Incredible Hulk and Iron Man, it really was X-Men that set the bar on how comic book movies were made. Of course, the reason why we haven't seen the X-Men in the MCU is because they belong to 20th Century Fox, which was just recently bought out for $71.3 billion by Marvel. So now that Marvel has rights to the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool, it will be interesting to see how they will incorporate them into the MCU. In this video, I'm going to focus on a way that Marvel can do that with the X-Men. In the movie Endgame, the Avengers get together to eliminate the threat of Thanos towards the beginning of the film now that he has all the Infinity Stones. These broken down heroes start gathering their clues to know where Titan II actually is. There is a display of what happened when Thanos was on Titan II. The stones sent out more of a shockwave throughout the universe, kind of like a certain signature that the stones have themselves. Later, in the movie, when Professor Hulk was talking about how the stones emit gamma radiation, making his snap to bring people back into existence his destiny. One theory that fans are predicting with having all the X-Men in the MCU is that they will already be existing under the radar. I get it. They do have mutant powers after all, so this does make sense. But what about there being a giant shockwave of gamma radiation going throughout the entire universe, mutating the genes necessary to bring in the X-Men? The MCU likes to be unpredictable and doesn't always have to follow origin stories from the comics and could take us by surprise with this one. After all, the X-Men didn't necessarily have an explanation of their origin in the comics. They came through mutated genes as part of an evolutionary process. Also, let's don't forget about the X-Men we have already seen in the MCU, that were just not labeled as X-Men, copyright, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, also known as Wanda and Pietro Maximoff. They are the son and daughter of Magneto in the comics. In the MCU, they were given their abilities by experiments conducted by Wolfgang von Strucker, with Loki's scepter containing the Mind Stone. We first see them in Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. In the comics, von Strucker was conducting these experiments in a fictional European city that we are familiar with called Sokovia, where he winds up meeting the twins. He uses the scepter to unlock any inherent powers they may have, giving them super speed and reality manipulation. If the Mind Stone could create Wanda and Pietro, what if that shockwave did something in the universe, since the Mind Stone was one of the stones that was in the very shockwave? Maybe that will be in the Disney Plus edition of WandaVision. Now that we have an updated trailer for Spider-Man, there is a concept that the snap could have had a reality-altering effect that could now bring in other multiverses. The comics refer to our Earth as number 616, where everything takes place. But there are other universes out there. Avengers Endgame also mentions that there were split universes that could be created by going back in time. In the new Spider-Man trailer, we learned that Mysterio could be from an alternate universe in the MCU. Even though Fishbowl Head isn't a trustworthy character, That is the direction Marvel is portraying right now. Maybe this reality-altering power being thrown around could bring in the X-Men, possibly from a different universe, since Mysterio claims he came from an alternate universe into our Earth in the MCU. It will be super cool to see what Marvel will do as the movies unravel. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below about how you feel the MCU will bring in the X-Men. No one has been talking about this theory, so I thought I would share it. Make sure you tune in next time for more nerd talk. Don't forget to subscribe to help grow my teeny tiny channel. Until next time, nerds.